God's will for our lives is to be His people, holy and set apart as He is. And, just living a life of worship means I don't understand why this is so hard for me. I love the Lord, and I just want you to know how much I love Him by what I'm saying. When I picked this song, "Thy Will Be Done," the first scriptures that came to my mind was Jesus, in the Garden of Yosemite, right before his arrest and inevitably his crucifixion and ultimately his resurrection. He was grieved. He was in deep sorrow, almost to the point of death. And he took a few of his disciples with him, and they went up to pray. And he asked, "Father, if there's any way for you to take this cup from me, please do that. But nevertheless, as you will, not as I will." And what obedience. I feel like, whatever it takes to get you to a place of submission and humility, God's willing to use that. He's going to use anything in your life that you love more than Him. He's going to use that to show you His will. And His will is for you to love Him more than these things that you love. Until we can wrap our mind around the fact that we serve a jealous God that will have nothing else above Him, above His name and above His glory. So once we're able to sacrifice, once we're able to submit our lives to Him and the way He would have our lives go, we're able to stop losing the things that we love. And I know that sounds really, gloom and doom, but at the end of the day, all good things that are given are from God. So if He's given us good things, shouldn't we submit those good things to Him? Proverbs 3, 5, and 6 says, "Trust in the Lord, lean not on your own understanding, and always acknowledge Him, and He will direct your path." So that's it. Trust God. Love God. Love people. Don't grow weary in well-doing. I love you guys. Living a lifestyle of worship isn't, walking around singing songs about God all day. Living a life of worship is doing what you say you're going to do. It's being a person of integrity. It's speaking truth. It's loving others. It's doing the things that you don't want to do sometimes. This life is difficult. It's accepting His will and walking in what He has for you is not easy per se. Sacrifices have to be made. Not being who the world wants you to be or says you should be, but being what the Word of God says you are. And taking Jesus's life at face value and just seeing the type of person that it's capable for us to be. It's possible for us to be like Jesus. If we could just deny our flesh and just be led by the Spirit. In Matthew 22, 36 through 40, Jesus was asked, what are the greatest commandments? And he says, love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, and love others as you love yourself. And I feel like that's the main thing, right? It's love God and love people. That is the will of God. A life of worship is saying, God, I know what you have for me is much greater than what I can do on my own power and in my own strength. And I submit to your will. I submit to what you want to do in my life. And whatever that looks like, Lord, just lead me, guide me,